Hello everyone, welcome back to the Physionic channel and welcome to this week's subscriber question. This question comes from a very vocal and very intelligent subscriber named Nazar. Nazar has been has posted several times, and I've really appreciated a lot of his input that he's put into the channel in the comment section and whatnot. We don't necessarily always see eye to eye, but I do appreciate his perspective on different things, and I appreciate his candor. So let's go ahead and discuss the topic which you guys voted on. He suggested I put it up on the poll, and you guys voted on it. And the topic is spinal compression, or decompression I should say. Is it healthy or does it hurt us? And I will qualify or disqualify my answer by saying that I am not an expert in spinal decompression, but I will kind of give my 2 cents on the topic. I think overall, and let's kind of broaden this out to more than just spinal decompression. Overall, when you hear people say, especially people that aren't in the medical community or aren't in physiology and anatomy and, you know, just like the general health field, even beyond medicine, when they talk about having to help the body in some particular way, it's a huge disservice to what the body is designed to do. Even me talking about the body in like a kind of a third person perspective, it's almost disrespectful to the anatomy and physiology that controls how your body functions. Because it's so intricate, it's so detailed, and it's been around for so long, and it's evolved into this incredibly efficient and brilliant machinery that even engineers and physicists that try and work on different projects to emulate some of the things that go on in our body, because they are so efficient, they have trouble emulating, because there's so many different processes that go on in our body that make us brilliant creatures when it comes to humans. And that's one of the big reasons why I started this channel, because I realized that our body is just unbelievable. So applying that to spinal decompression, it usually happens that people say, oh, you need to help the body in some way. You need to detox the body. You need to cleanse the body. You need to decompress the body. Like, you need to do all these things when people are in a non-pathological state, meaning their physiology is working perfectly fine. So why help it? It's already working. It's already functioning perfectly fine. So to think that you need to do something extra is nonsensical, and it tends to be nonsensical. It tends, eventually, once we get more research on it, it usually turns out that it doesn't make any sense. None of it makes sense. So, do I think that spinal decompression is dangerous? I mean, to a degree. If you were to sit there and try and really like pull your different vertebrae apart, yeah, of course, that's not good. I mean, those are also protecting your spinal cord. That's protecting your nerves, your nerve bundles that are going through your entire spinal cord. I mean, of course, that's going to be terrible for you, but I think what Nazar is just talking about is if you, let's say, go under load, a squat, for example, let's just say squat, and then you jump from that to a pull-up, so where you're kind of releasing some of that load off of your spine, or at least it's not, your feet aren't making contact with the ground. Is that bad for you? I would venture to guess no. It is not in any way detrimental to you. That may change based on different pathologies. If a person has lower back problems of some sort, or if they have some sort of osteoarthritic issue in their back, or if they have spinal issues of some sort, then, you know, scoliosis, whatever it might be, then, you know, that answer might be qualified or might change based off of that condition. But for healthy individuals, I find it really hard to believe that you go from you're always compressing your spine. I mean, when you're standing, you're compressing your spine. So to momentarily, for a minute or even 10 minutes out of an entire day, out of an entire lifetime, to decompress your spine, that just doesn't, it's nonsensical. And there are even surgeries to decompress your spine. And of course, those are in pathological states, so it's kind of excluded from this situation. And I think Nazar is also talking about increasing your height. And again, if we look at just time in general and how that applies to decompression as opposed to compression, you are under compression for much, much longer than you would ever dream of being in a decompressed state. So is it going to have an impact on your height? I don't think it's going to have any impact on your height whatsoever, at least not any long-term impact on your height. And even if it is, it's going to be like a millimeter. Nothing you'll notice. So that's kind of my thought process on decompression. Again, I'm no expert. I'm not saying that this is absolutely the case. I'm just giving you from my experience and from what I've read on many other different topics. I think that decompression is perfectly fine to do, at least at a minimum, or at least at a level that you would normally do it. You're not going to hang off of a bar for 8 hours every single day. So at a normal amount, I think it's perfectly fine, and it's not going to be in any way unhealthy, granted that you don't have any sort of spinal injuries or spinal cord injuries or neural injuries of any sort that are going through that region. So I know it's not an exact answer, but hopefully it gives you a little bit of perspective on how to look at a situation like that. And hopefully that answered your question to a degree, Nazar. And of course, you guys can comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And if somebody is related to osteo anything, or your biomechanics, if you're into biomechanics or you know a lot about anatomy, I'd be certainly interested and intrigued to have a discussion in the comments below. All right, with that said, I will hopefully have the pleasure of seeing you in the very next video. Have a good one. See ya.